Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and it's been a while since we've done one of these. We've had 3 master sets in the last 12 months, a slew of standard expansions, and other supplementary products. Despite this, some cards just seem to fall through the cracks. In this video, I'm going to tell you the top 10 cards that desperately need a reprint right now, like yesterday actually. Things are getting real savage out there. I'll be using MTG stocks graphs and TCG player pricing to convey my financial points, and I'll be using this beard to appear more credible and mature, really firing on all cylinders. Also, I'm still giving away 2 boxes of Masters 25, shipped anywhere in the world for free. Click the first link in the description. Time to enter is almost over, so hurry up. You just have to be subbed to the channel, it's so easy. Alright, with that said, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, remember to hit the like button, helps out a lot. As always, we're going to start with some honorable mentions, Karn Liberated and Dark Confidant. These cards are $93 and $95 respectively, which is completely outrageous. While both of these cards have had reprints, the reprint supply hasn't kept up with demand in the slightest. Tron is a popular and powerful strategy in Modern right now, and Karn is the poster boy for the deck. There's no way to escape it. If you play a Tron variant, there's a real good chance you need Karn. And at almost $100 each, I'd call that a bit of a gatekeeper. As for Dark Confidant, this dumb thing won't stay down. With the re-emergence of Bloodbraid Elf and the Jund comeback, the Confidant is more sought after than ever, one of the most popular creatures in the entire format. I fear the only way to drop Karn and Confidant enough to be reasonable would be to print them as rares, which we know will never happen. Our last honorable mention is Blightsteel Colossus. I'm honestly baffled this golem hasn't been reprinted once. In addition to showing up in some solid vintage lists, Blighty is a legitimate staple in synergistic commander strategies. Mile, Brea, Joyra. This is the largest and most dangerous infect creature in the game. It's only $30 right now, but you have to imagine that without a reprint, it'll keep going up and up. Not like Mirrodin Besieged was opened a ton. I fear this is a bit of a time bomb. On to the list itself, we'll begin with number 10, Rings of Brighthearth. Increasing in price every year it goes without a single reprint, Rings is a real staple in Commander, especially after Atraxa was printed, and Brea for that matter. Sitting north of $30 each, this artifact only printed in Lorwyn, and then as a masterpiece needs to be put into more players' hands. Rings of Brighthearth is a fun casual card. I mean, look at it, it copies abilities. That's crazy fun for Commander. The only reason the card is this expensive is because of lack of supply. And it isn't like an effect like this would break a Masters Limited format or anything. Rings has fallen through the cracks, it deserves a real reprint. Let's get some jewelry love up in here. Number 9 is Liliana of the Veil. Now, I know what you're going to say, yes, this was just reprinted in Modern Masters 2017, but the fact that it's on this list at all should tell you how serious the issue has become. I don't totally blame Wizards for not knowing just how expensive this card would get, but now that they see it, they have to reprint her. She's more expensive than Tarmogoyf by a lot, sitting at a whopping $115 and showing no signs of dropping. The most dangerous planeswalker in the entire Modern format needs a reprint. In addition to Jund, which is taking over Modern, she's also in Mardu Pyromancer, Death's Shadow, Leovold Strategies and Legacy, Delver and Legacy, the list goes on and on. This card is too widely used to be this expensive. Liliana needs the Tarmogoyf treatment. Reprint her in every single master set forever, $120 for a single Modern card, that's unreal, it's totally nuts. Coming in at number 8 is one of the most popular lands in the entire Commander format, Cabal Coffers. I honestly can't think of one good reason this hasn't been in a supplemental product since Planechase. Cabal Coffers is the first auto-include into any mono-black Commander deck, and a common include in most 2-color decks that run black. Another easy filler uncommon for a master set or even standard. Cabal Coffers needs to not be $25. As you can see, the card creeps up every year. There's no reason to expect it to stop here, especially since it just had another bump with Masters 25 coming out. What's the holdup? Get Cabal Coffers into players' hands. This isn't the kind of card that needs to be this expensive. More players deserve to wield the full power of black mana, just reprint it. Alright, you've heard me whine about this a few times the last week or so, but I just can't get it out of my head. It's gnawing at me. Number 7 is Oracle of Moldiah, one of the most popular and beloved green cards in all of Commander. I never thought this Elf Shaman would be $25, but here we are. From Animar to Omnath, and from Rico to other Omnath, Oracle of Moldiah is friggin' everywhere. It's pretty close to being the quintessential green creature. If it tapped for mana, I'm pretty sure WotC would retroactively add it to the reserve list. I think what bothers me the most is that Courser of Kruphix, a worse version of the Oracle, was in Masters 25, but they didn't put the Oracle in for value. That would have been so much value. I know I'm a broken record about this, but the Oracle needs to come back. This is another case of low supply. No reprint ever? Come on. Moving right along, we make it to number 6, a card I've been whining about for years, Crucible of Worlds. When I talk about this card, I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. Can no one hear me? Am I the only one who realizes this stupid ball hasn't been reprinted since 10th edition? Not only is the dang thing $60, which is completely absurd, but it's also played all over the place. This isn't even a supply issue, it's a demand issue. Crucible is in Tron and Control decks in Modern. It's in Landstill and Vintage, and in case you didn't know, pretty beloved in Commander. Find me a Get Rog Monster Titania deck that doesn't want Crucible of Worlds. You won't, because that would be gosh darn silly. It's a constructed staple, a Commander staple, wouldn't break any limited formats, and can easily be reprinted at the rare level. How has this not happened in a Master set yet? I have to be missing something, right? It seems like a slam dunk right here. Just print the thing. Time to break into the top 5. We've been covering a load of Commander cards in this video, but you're going to have to deal with another. Phyrexian Altar. The situation around this card is a bit interesting. It isn't played in constructed formats at all, but because of its disturbing versatility, it's a staple in most sacrifice-based decks in Commander. In case you weren't aware, sacrificing creatures is one of the more popular archetypes in the format, with legendary creatures printed for that very purpose. Prosh, Marin, Carador, Marchesa, just a few of the myriad sacrifice commanders. The point I'm trying to make is that Phyrexian Altar is a much needed card in the format, but it seems like players have resigned themselves to just not using it because it's friggin' $50. Now, don't get me wrong, finding budget versions for powerful cards is actually a lot of fun and an interesting challenge, but Phyrexian Altar shouldn't be a card players are priced out of. It's easy to reprint at rare. I'm not sure why it wasn't in Prosh the first time around, or any other commander that cares about sacrificing. You want to add value to commander precons? Stick a Phyrexian Altar in each box. It'll always have value and it'll make people buy the sets. This should not be a $50 card. It's kind of ridiculous. Entering our top 4, we're shifting focus to Modern. Celestial Colonnade, and by extension, all of the World Wake man lands need to be reprinted. It's time. They should have been in Masters 25, if we're being honest, since they haven't had a real printing since World Wake, where pack prices, by the way, through the roof due to Jace inflating the entire set. While this entire cycle does deserve a reprint, I'll take just the Colonnade. Every single blue-white control deck in Modern uses it, and with Jace unbanned, there are more of them than ever, and I don't know about you, but $60 for one of these, that's highway robbery. This is simply a supply issue. There are plenty of players using them, but only really in Modern, and only in control decks. A simple, rare reprint at any point would help control this price spike. Things have gotten totally out of control since mid-2017, and it has to be rolled back. I hate overpriced lands, drives me nuts, just bring them back. Here we go, top 3. These 3 are the cards that need to be reprinted the most, without question. Number 3 is Doubling Season. One of the most infamous cards in all of Commander. I'm baffled Wizards thought one reprint in Modern Masters was enough. The second Atraxa was designed, they should have known. One of the most popular commanders calls this card an auto-include. What did they think was going to happen? Anyways, Doubling Season dodging reprints has allowed it to plateau at $60. And while yes, the effect is certainly powerful, it's also a lot of fun and only really played in Commander. Doubling Season creates hilarious board states, fun interactions, and just a good absurd time. It's equal parts fun and good, and that's coming from someone who doesn't even use it. Another reprint at rare wouldn't rock the boat anywhere, it would simply make Commander players happy. I don't see a reason not to do it. Number 2 is going to be a card a lot of you didn't expect. It's a Pauper staple. I know, a Pauper card being here is ironic beyond belief, but it is a Pauper staple in a powerful deck and doubled in price as soon as Masters 25 didn't include it. Oubliette. The mono black control removal powerhouse is friggin' $40 and rising. Printed only in Arabian Nights back in 1993, Oubliette has become one of the most powerful and iconic Pauper staples in the entire format. I think it's pretty safe to say that this is a real supply issue. Almost like cards printed in 1993 and then never again would be relatively difficult to come by, who would have thought? Anyways, Oubliette isn't on the reserve list, which means that Wizards is free to do whatever they want with it, which means they can reprint it as a common in any set, a common. This would cut the cost of the mono black deck by a ridiculous degree. It's a $40 common. It shouldn't be $40. And if you're the store that's been hoarding friggin' Oubliette to make your bank, then you're insane. Reprinting this won't ruffle any feathers, it'll lower the barrier of entry in Pauper, and it'll show that Wizards cares about keeping Pauper healthy and accessible, which is something we really need to see from them since, again, there's still no unified Pauper ban list. That's a story for a whole other video, but you get my point. Oubliette being $40 is absurd. Wizards, just reprint it. We finally made it. Number 1, the card that needs to be reprinted more than any other in Magic right now. Let's see if you guessed correctly. If your guess was Noble Hierarch, you are a winner. Noble Hierarch is currently the 5th most played card in the entire Modern format, the most played creature in the entire Modern format. It's a staple in Humans, Infect, any Collected Company variants, Nightfall, Zoo, Aggro Eldrazi decks, and Deathblade strategies in Legacy, in addition to Rafik, Atraxa, and Derevi decks in Commander. Noble Hierarch is doing it all right now, and the unreal demand for the card has thrown its value totally out of whack. Modern Masters 2015 did alright at stemming the growth, but it wasn't enough. For a rare, $90 is just, it's insane. This is the most popular green card in one of the flagship formats in Magic. It has to be reprinted. No rare should be this much, especially one as needed as this. It should have been in Modern Masters 2017, should have been in Iconic Masters, should have been in Masters 25. Can't keep dodging this card, you gotta bring it back, you just have to. Those were a lot of expensive cards. What do you think of the list? Can you think of cards that you desperately want to be reprinted? What do you think needs reprinting the most that I left off the list? I would love to hear what you're thinking about all of this. If you don't talk to me, who will? My video editor? He hates me. Anywho, I do hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. These cards are expensive. Very expensive, but you know what isn't? Pre-orders for Dominaria. If you don't have a local game store or yours is charging way too much, you can pre-order your boxes right now for $86 each. That's so cheap. All you have to do is click the link on the screen. Helps the channel. We all get free Ferraris. It's great. Enjoy.